Good morning, my dear student. Today we will continue your chapter 11, Reveals and Raj. My dear student, today we will read the topic Why did people believe in the rumors? Why did people believe? Why did people believe in the rumors? इन द रूमर्स, लोगों को इन जो अफवाह थी, इन अफवाहों में लोगों का विश्वास क्यों था? लोग अफवाहों में विश्वास क्यों कर रहे थे? टुडे वी विल डिस्कस इस टॉपिक. आज हम इस टॉपिक पे बात करेंगे. We will try to understand that why the people believe in rumors. That is a very strange matter in history, that the people believe in the rumors. We have discussed before this topic the rumors and prophecy. In this topic, I have already explained what is the importance of the rumor and prophecy in the revolt 1857. Where I discuss with you that the prophecy, according to that prophecy, that after 100 years of the Battle of Plassey, India become free from the white man's. And rumors, there were two rumors. First, that the flour, the atta, which was eaten by the Sipahi, that atta mixed with the bone powder of the pig and cow, and the burnt rumors that was become the main cause for the revolt. That was what? That was uses of the cartilage which greased made by the fat of cow and pig. जो कार्टिलेज थी उनकी, जो ग्रीस थी, वो ग्रीस काऊ और पिग की फैट से बनी हुई थी. These were the rumors. On the basis of that, Sipahi became the villain. That was the sudden case. But here we are going to discuss the topic. Why did people believe in the rumors? लोगों ने rumors में क्यों विश्वास किया? As I inform you that in history there are the various incidents which based on the rumors. इतिहास में अफवाहों और भविष्यवाणियों की ताकत को सिर्फ इस आधार पे नहीं समझा जा सकता कि वो वाकई में सच थी या नहीं थी. हमें देखना यह चाहिए कि जो उन पर यकीन कर रहे थे उनकी मानसिकता के बारे में क्या पता चलता है, वो किस तरह के लोग थे. और ये अफवाह, ये भविष्यवाणियां, ये र्यूमर्स, ये प्रोफेसी उनके भय, उनकी आशंकाओं, उनके विश्वास और प्रतिबद्धताओं के बारे में क्या बताती हैं? अफवाहें तभी फैलती हैं जब उसमें लोगों के जहन में गहरे दबे डर और संदेह की अनुगूंज सुनाई देती है. अफवाहें तभी प्रचलित होती हैं जब लोगों को किसी के प्रति असुरक्षा की भावना हो, किसी के प्रति, किसी के द्वारा. तो र्यूमर और प्रोफेसी तेजी से स्प्रेड करती है. I mean to say that we cannot understand the power of the rumors in the prophecy in history by checking whether they were the factually corrected or not. We need to see what they reflect about the minds of the people who believe them, their fears and the apprehension, their faith and the convictions. Rumors circulate only when they resonate with the deep fears and suspicion of people. The rumors 1857 began to make sense when in the context of the policies of the British pursued from the late 1820s. As you know from the time under the leadership of the Governor General Lord William Bentinck, the British adopted the policies aimed at reforming Indian society by introducing the Western education, Western ideas, Western institutions, with the corporations of the section of Indian society. They set up English medium schools, colleges, and universities which taught the Western sciences and the liberal art. British established law to abolish custom like Sati 1829, to permit the remarriage of the Hindu widows, human sacrifices, fire altars that was stopped, age of consent act. These are all knock the mind of the common people of the India. This is the very interesting matter. And it is very strange that no doubt this step was fruitful for the Indian society. But this was not taken in positive way by Indians. On a variety of plays like misgovernment and the refusal to recognize the adoption, the British annexed not only Awadh but many other kingdoms and the principalities of the Jhansi, Satara. These are all we have discussed in our previous video. That I have also discussed with you that the subsidiary alliance. I have also discussed with you that the doctrine of the lapse. I have also discussed about that the conditions of the Nababs and the Jamidars. What happened with them? These are all played a very important role. That's why the people believe in the rumors. Because they felt that the Britishers, they tried to destroy the culture, the customs, the traditions of the Indian peoples. भारतीय परंपराएं, सांस्कृतिक विशेषताएं, उनकी महत्ता, उनके रीति रिवाज को पूरी तरीके से ब्रिटिश एम्पायर नष्ट करना चाहती है. इसीलिए लोग आसानी से इन रूमर्स में विश्वास कर रहे थे. It seemed to the people that all that they cherished and held sacred from kings and the socio-religious customs to pattern of the land holding and the revenue payment was being destroyed and replaced by the system that was more imprisoned, aligned and oppressive. The precipitations, missionaries in such situations of the uncertainty, the numerous spread with the remarkable the swiftness. To explore the basis of the revolt of 1857, some details let us look at Awadh, one of the major centers where the drama of 1857 unfolded. It is a very strange that Awadh, that was called Kamdhenu, that was called the very fruitful state, buffer state for the Britishers. But what happened with Awadh? Awadh was annexed by the Britishers in 1856. A cherry that will drop into mouth one day, that is statement passed by the British officials. The resident appointed. Resident was the designation of the representative of the Governor General who lived in the state which was not under direct British rule. I mean to say that the resident was the designations of the representative of the Governor General who lived in the state which was not under direct British rule. Resident post that was organized, that was set up by the subsidiary alliance. Subsidiary alliance, what was the here? One question arises that what is the meaning of subsidiary alliance? I have also discussed in the political causes, the subsidiary alliance that was also the causes for the revolt. Subsidiary alliance, what was it? Subsidiary alliance was a system devised by the Lord Wellesley in 1798. All those who entered into such an alliance with the British had to accept certain terms and conditions. First, the British would be responsible for the protecting their ally from external and internal threats to their power. Second, in the territory of the ally of the British armed contingents would be stationed. And third, the ally would have to provide the resources for maintaining this contingent. And fourth, the ally could enter into the agreements with other rulers and what engage in warfare only with the permission of the British. It was just a cheating with the common peoples, common low, I mean to say that the small kings. Even the Awadh, that was the very important state for the Britishers, that was also annexed by them. The Britishers blamed on Awadh that in Awadh the misgovernment that was running on. The Nawab was totally unable to control their state, so that's why it is required. It was required. क्या थी? ये required है. It was demand of the situation that we have to impose the subsidy. What? We have to impose, we have to annex the Awadh. That's why the statement, the cherry that will drop into our mouth one day. In 1851, the Governor General Lal Dalhousie described the kingdom of Awadh as a cherry that will drop into our mouth one day. 5 years later, in 1856, the kingdom was formally annexed by the British Empire. The conquest happened, the stage, the subsidiary alliance had been imposed on Awadh in 1801. By the laws of this alliance, the Nawab had to disband his military force, allow the British to position their troops within the kingdom, and act in accordance with the advice of the British resident, who was now to be attached to the court. Deprived of his armed forces, and the Nawab became the what? Nawab became increasingly dependent on the British to maintain law and order within the kingdom. He could no longer assert control over the rebellious chiefs and talukdars. In the meantime, the British became increasingly interested in acquiring the territory of Awadh. They felt that soil there was good for the producing indigo and cotton, and region was ideally located to be developed into the principal market of the Upper India. By the early 1815, moreover, all the major area of the India had been conquered, and Marathas lands, Doaba, the Carnatic and Punjabs and Bengals, and takeover of the Awadh in 1856 was expected to complete a process of territorial annexation that had begun with the conquest of the Bengal almost a century earlier. It was the proper strategy of the Britishers. Gradually, they annexed the state and again the other states. If you remember about the subsidiary alliance, it was launched, it was introduced by the Lord Wellesley in 1798. According to subsidiary alliance, the various states, they adopted that by hooks by crooks. उनको दबाव से, प्रेशर से सब्सिडी अलायंस बनवा लिया गया. सब्सिडी अलायंस में कई सारे राज्य थे. हैदराबाद, तंजौर, अवध, पेशवा, भोसले. These are all accepted the subsidiary alliance. They allowed a resident to appointed in the court. And how strange, the British would be responsible for the protecting their ally from the external and internal threats to their power. The local king have no rights to arm himself and to what? To organize the army. सेना का संगठन करने के लिए, अपने को आर्म करने के लिए जो ये राजा, जो भी लोकल किंग्स इसको मानते थे, उनको अधिकार उनके अपने आप स्वतः समाप्त हो जाते थे. तो सब्सिडी अलायंस भी इसके महत्वपूर्ण रोल में आती थी. द लाइफ वॉज गॉन आउट ऑफ द बॉडी वेन द अवध वॉज the annexation of Awadh that has completed, the common people, they pass out comment, the life was gone out of the body. What is the meaning? The life was gone. The life was gone out of the body. Out of body. What it means? It means Lord Dalhousie's annexation created the dissatisfaction in all the area and the principalities that were annexed, but now are more so than the kingdom of the Awadh in the heart of North India. Here Nawab Wajid Ali Shah was dethroned and exiled to Calcutta on the plea that the reason of being the misgoverned. That the British government also wrongly assumed that Wajid Ali Shah was unpopular ruler. On the the contrary, he was widely loved, and when he left his beloved Lucknow, there were the many who followed him all the way to Kanpur, singing song to lament. Widespread sense of grief and loss at the Nawab's exile was recorded by the many contemporary observers. One of them who wrote, "The life was gone out of the body, and the body of this town had been left lifeless. There was no street or market and houses which did not wail out the cry of the agony in the separations of the Jaini Alam." One folk song bemoaned that the unravel English came and took the country. Angrez Bahadur Ain Mulk Lay Linu. This emotional upheaval was aggravated by the immediate material losses. This removal of the Nawab led to the dissolution of the court and its culture. Thus, whole range of the people, musicians, dancers, poet, artisans, cook, retainers, administrative officials, and so on, lost their livelihood when that Awadh was annexed by the British Empire. And that was also the main causes. These are all causes connected with each other, and that result that was what? That result, a mutiny became a popular rebellion. Result of that, what? क्या हुआ? This Sipai mutiny became the popular. Sipai mutiny became a popular rebellion. Why I am saying again and again? Because these are all causes. Become very what? These are all causes. That was the reason for the revolt. Firangi Raj and the end of the world. This topic. Try to explain with you. Next topic, the Firangi Raj and the end of the world. Dear student, Firangi Raj and end of the world. What it means? The third topic, the 2.3, this topic, according to that, we are going to read about the conditions of the Jamidars and Talukdars. According to Jamidars and Talukdars, when the Firangi Raj introduced in India, the whole authority of the Jamidars and the local kings, that has all abolished, that has all finished. So that's why the heading of this topic, the Firangi Raj first, and on the basis of that, the end of the world. ये end of the world किसका? तो कहता है end of the world जमींदार्स and local king. My dear student, if you have remembered my previous class, when I am discussing the economic reason, causes of revolt 1857, the topic economic reason, where I have discussed what was the conditions of the Jamidars and why they were aware of their, I mean to say that why they felt that the Firangi Raj, that is totally against of their rule, I mean to say that Jamidari system. That is the very important things. In this topic we will read about the conditions of the Jamidars and why Jamidars became rebellion. कहता है कि अवध के जो बड़े जमींदार थे, छोटे जमींदार थे, तालुकदार थे, जो किसान सिपाही एक दूसरे सबको एक साथ कनेक्ट करने का प्रयास किया गया. आई एम टेलिंग दैट इन दिस टॉपिक वी आर गोइंग टू रीड द बॉन्डिंग एंड कनेक्शन बिटवीन द जमींदार, तालुकदार, peasants, सिपाही, रैयत. They are all unsatisfied for the British rule, so that's why they connected. They bond with each other, and the revolt that has changed in the different form. The mutiny became the popular rebellion. That's why I am saying, dear student, a chain of the governance in Awadh linked prince, talukdar, peasants and sipahi. In different ways, they came to identify Firangi Raj with the end of their world. The breakdown of things they valued, respected and held dear. A whole complex of the economics and issues, traditions and the loyalties worked themselves out the revolt 1857. In Awadh more than anywhere else, the revolt became an expression of the popular resistance to an alien order. The annexation of the displaced not just the Nawab, it also dispossessed that talukdar of the regions. The countrysides of Awadh was dotted with the estates and forts of talukdars, who for many, the generation to generation, they lived there and they controlled that village. Before the coming of the British, talukdar maintained armed relations. I mean to say that armed retenries built fort and enjoy a degree of autonomy. Before British Raj, the Jamidars, they enjoyed what? It means before the coming the British, talukdar maintained armed the retainer, built fort and enjoy a degree of autonomy, as long as they accepted the suzerainty of the Nawab and paid the revenue of their taluka. Some of the bigger talukdars had as many as 12,000 foot soldiers, and even small ones had about 200. The British were unwillingly to tolerate the power of the Talukdars, and immediately after the annexation, the Talukdars were disarmed and their force destroyed. That was the main reason for the unsatisfaction of the Talukdar and Jamidars. The Jamidars who had the small army, small troops, but the Cornwallis, when he became the Governor General of East India Company, he introduced a rule, Cornwallis Code. According to that, the Jamidars have no right to arm himself. According to him, that he opened the various places on the police stations. Daroga, that was appointed by him to what? Control the riots and such type of other activities. I mean to say that here the conditions of Jamidar that has totally changed. Jamidars, he cannot enjoy the autonomy. In Jamidari system, as I taught you, that sunset law, that rule, according to that, Jamidar have to pay their taxes on the proper time. If he was unable to pay, according to sunset law, that Jamidari, that was auction. So that was the major problem. If you'll see, you will try to understand the actual problem, then you can analysis the whole situations, why Jamidar became against them. If you remember my previous class where I have discussed also the Inam Commission, the lottery commissions, Inam Commission and summary settlements. I taught you the Inam Commission 1856, summary settlements also 1856. According to that, the Jamidari that was inspected by the British officials, and then after the Jamidars, if have not the legal documents, their Jamidari can be captured. Then their Jamidaris can be annexed by the British rulers, British officials. And suppose think that what conditions would be during that time when Jamidar treated himself as a Jamidar in the particular region, generation to generation, and suddenly their Jamidari that was annexed by the British ruler. Why? Because they have no legal documents. So that's why I am saying the conditions of the Jamidars that was totally changed. The British land revenue policies further undermined the position and the authority of the Talukdars. After the annexation, the first British revenue settlements, known as the summary settlements of 1856, there is no need to explain again. What is the summary settlements? According to summary settlements, was based on the assumptions that the Talukdars were interlopers with no permanent stakes in land. They had to establish their hold over land through forces and found. The summary settlements proceed to remove the Talukdars wherever possible. Figures show that in the pre-British time, Talukdar had held 67% of the total number of the villages in Awadh. By the summary settlements, this number had come down to 38%. This is the very interesting. The 67% land that was acquired by Jamidars, but after summary settlements, that land which enjoyed by the Jamidars, it decreases. It became how many percentage? Only 36%. There is the vast difference between the 67 to 36. On the behalf of the summary settlements, that area that was annexed by the British officials. That's why I am saying it was a difficult for them. We will continue this topic in my next class also. तो आज के लिए इतना ही, and you should try to understand that what I am saying here, that is the main things having read the whole chapter, we have a clear view about the revolt 1857, that why it happened, what was the reasons, what were the features, what were the causes, and what the Sipahi want. And after that, we have also aware of that what किसके लिए, we will also aware of that what were the changes after revolt 1857. आज के लिए इतना ही. Goodbye, take care.